Sure. Thank you all for being there as well. Sorry that we can't be there in person. My name's Rebecca Louiselle, and I'm the writer and director of Gender Freak.
Jordan, I did the music.
Excellent. Yay. So with that, y'all have time to digest both shorts. What questions do you have for Rebecca in the making of Gender Freak?
How did you find your cast?
Did you hear that, Rebecca?
Yeah, how did we find the cast? Excuse me. We worked with a casting director here in Los Angeles to find almost all of the cast. Casting for the role of Sammy was slightly more difficult, just because, you know, it's a role that could have gone many different directions, and so we actually checked out, we auditioned people of all genders from LA, the Bay Area, San Francisco. We did some online auditions with folks to try and find the right person. And we ended up finding Lauren Whitney to play Sammy through word of mouth. A friend of mine was talking with me about what we were looking for, and I was talking about kind of how difficult it was to cast this role. And he said, well, I know somebody that you may want to check out. And so we checked out her previous work on the web and decided to bring her in, and she brought a lot to the role that we really liked, so we ended up going with her. And actually, she wishes that she could be here tonight. She's not able to, but she did say that she would be interested in answering any questions if folks have them, like in more of a blog format. So if there's a way of you want to submit questions to ISIS or to me, we could get her to probably answer them through written form.
Right. So if you have any questions, particularly for the person who played Sammy in Gender Freak, just let me know. I'll write them down. I'll email them to her, and then I'll send you a link either through email or through Facebook or the final blog article. Excellent. Any other? Yeah.
There's a casting within additional or that just happen because
I didn't get that. Can you relay that, or can you move the mic closer?
So the question was it intentional for there to be an interracial relationship, or was that just a result of the actors that were casted for the role?
That's a great question. It was, initially it was somewhat intentional, although I was writing Gender Freak based off of youth that I had worked with, and a lot of the youth in LA that I was working with were actually Latino. But we auditioned all ethnicities as well, and it just kind of came to be that Lauren was the right person for the role, and we went with that. So sort of a combination of yes and no in a way.
Other questions? So a question I have is, so what project are you working on now, or what's your next project?
Great question. There is a feature story that I've been writing about a transgender teenager growing up in East LA, and that I've been going through a similar process as I went through it with Gender Freak in terms of trying to get youth input on the script, and that's the point that I'm at yet. I've done a few drafts and want to get some input from teens on how well it reflects their reality. So that project is kind of moving along slowly but surely. Don't yet know how we would fund it, but it could probably be made for it could be a small budget film, so it probably will get made. It's just a question of, how long to get the script to the right place and then how to fund it, really. And then as far as other projects, partly based off of, because of Gender Freak, traveling kind of on the festival circuit and winning some awards, the director hired me to write a feature script, which is a sci-fi project with a transgender heroine. So that's been a really fun project to write. It's been kind of a little different, and a chance to kind of get back to the sci-fi reading that I used to do when I was a kid. It's been sort of fun.
It's a queer sci-fi feature.
Yeah.
Nice, nice. And what's the timeline for that? When should people expect it?
That's another. The script needs to be finished, and he's got to figure out how to fund it. So we'll see about that. I would say probably 2 or 3 years.
Okay, excellent. So yes.
So you said you took it to festivals. What was the favorite place you went to with the film?
Well, probably Frameline and also Outfest. They were both really good experiences and really they were different experiences. I don't know if you guys have been to either or both of the festivals, but Outfest is more LA, sort of hooked into Hollywood. So I learned a lot from going to panels there, and they're really supportive of their filmmakers, and that's really great. And then Frameline was just like, I used to live in the Bay Area, and to play at the Castle Theater is just phenomenal, especially to a queer audience. So that was really, really fun, and we had a great time with that as well. But then we also had a great time in Albuquerque. We sort of ended up going to Albuquerque. Am I talking too fast? I have a tendency to talk really fast when I get excited. Okay. Okay, good. We ended up going to Albuquerque because, well, they accepted the film, for one, and then I have family in Santa Fe, and so Jordan and I actually drove to Albuquerque last October, and that was like a smaller festival, but it was really fun, and they were really great to us, and we made new friends who we've seen after that. And they actually did a Youth Pacific screening where they partnered with some organizations in Albuquerque that work with youth. So there were like 25 or 30 queer youth in the audience, and that was really, really cool to get their reactions to the film.
Awesome. And so then, Jordan, tell us about the process of creating the soundtrack for the short, and where can people access the soundtrack?
It was fun. We wrote it together. Becca and I wrote the lyrics together. And then I found a guy actually on Craigslist who plays guitar, bass, and drums, and has a recording studio. And he did all the tracks, and vocalists. The actors in the movie actually sing their own tracks on screen. And soundtracks available on iTunes and Spotify.
Excellent. And then where can people access the soundtrack? I don't know if you already said
So you can find it probably easiest on genderfreakmovie.com, but you could also just search Gender Freak on YouTube.
Yeah, can you say that one more time? We didn't quite hear you.
Oh, you can search for Gender Freak on iTunes probably.
Okay, so Gender Freak on iTunes or the website. I think I saw him.
I was just wondering how was casting Sammy? I feel like.
Oh. I think our sound cut out. Shoot.
Hmm.
Hang on. Let's see. Hello? Hello? Did I rejoin? Am I rejoin? Why did they do that? Can you hear us? Because we can't actually hear you. Can you say something? Shoot.
Can you hang up?
Yeah. Shoot.